The tech convention buzzed with excitement. Industry leaders, engineers, and enthusiasts swarmed the vast exhibition hall, eager for the next big reveal. But amidst the sea of suits and tech geeks, a group of leather-clad bikers stood out, their presence turning heads and raising eyebrows. At the center of the commotion was Elon Musk, casually sipping coffee near the Tesla booth, his every move drawing murmurs of speculation. A rumor had started circulating. Tesla was about to unveil something groundbreaking. The bikers, skeptical of the electric revolution, had no problem voicing their opinions. "What's he going to do now?" one sneered. "Put training wheels on a Tesla and call it a bike." The group laughed, their mocking voices carrying through the hall. Another added, "Electric bikes? They'll never beat the real thing. Too slow, too quiet, no soul." Elon glanced in their direction, his calm demeanor betraying nothing. He finished his coffee, set the cup down, and walked toward the stage, the bikers' taunts continuing behind him. Little did they know, they were moments away from witnessing a reveal that would leave them, and the entire convention, utterly speechless. The Bikers Challenge. The bikers leaned against their shiny, rumbling motorcycles parked just outside the Tesla booth, their laughter drawing stares from the surrounding crowd. Grizz, the self-proclaimed leader of the group, tilted his helmet back and smirked. "So, this is the big tech revolution, huh? A bunch of nerds gawking at glorified golf carts." His crew roared with laughter, feeding off the growing attention. One biker, a wiry man nicknamed Sparks, nodded toward a nearby display showing Tesla's fleet of electric vehicles. "Hey, Grizz, maybe we should trade in the Harleys for one of those silent scooters. Think they come with streamers on the handlebars." The crowd around them chuckled nervously, clearly entertained but unsure if the situation would escalate. Elon Musk, standing just a few feet away, seemed to notice the commotion. Without a word, he turned slightly, his calm gaze landing directly on the group. The subtle act caught Grizz's attention, and his smirk widened. Well, Grizz said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Look who's finally paying attention. Mr. Billionaire himself. What's the matter, Musk? Cat out your tongue, or are you too busy charging your spaceship?" The crowd stirred, whispers of anticipation rippling through the air. Elon took a step closer, his calm yet deliberate stride silencing some of the murmurs. He stopped just shy of the group, his posture relaxed but commanding. "You seem to have a lot of opinions," Elon said evenly, his tone measured. "Care to back them up?" Grizz grinned, the challenge sparking something in him. "Back them up? Against what? A bunch of oversized batteries? Don't make me laugh, Musk. Your tech can't touch the raw power of a real bike." Elon's expression didn't change, but the flicker of something, amusement, confidence, lit in his eyes. The stage for the challenge was set. The crowd began to grow as more people were drawn to the confrontation. Phones were raised, recording the exchange between Elon Musk and the boisterous group of bikers. Grizz, emboldened by the attention, stepped forward, towering over Elon. "Tell me something, Musk," he said with a mocking grin. "Do you really think those electric toys of yours can handle the open road? A real bike's got power, soul. Yours." He snapped his fingers. "Dead the moment the battery dies." The bikers laughed, their voices echoing through the convention hall. Another biker, Sparks, chimed in, gesturing to the Tesla display. "And what's with the silence, huh? Bikes are supposed to roar, not purr like a kitten. Where's the thrill in that?" Elon's calm demeanor didn't waver. He tilted his head slightly, considering their words before responding. "So, you believe noise equals power? Interesting metric." Grizz leaned closer, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "Noise, power, personality, you name it, Musk. That's what makes a bike. Something you'd never understand sitting behind your spreadsheets and circuit boards." The crowd chuckled nervously, but Elon simply smiled, his posture unchanging. "Fascinating," he said. "It's always amusing how loudly people cling to outdated ideas when they're afraid of change." Grizz's smirk faltered briefly, but he quickly recovered. "Afraid? Of what? You? Please, show us what you've got, Musk. Let's see this so-called revolution." Elon's eyes glinted with quiet confidence. "You're absolutely right," he said, his tone even. "It's time I show you." The tension in the air grew thicker as the crowd murmured with anticipation. Whatever was coming next, it was clear Elon wasn't just going to talk. He was about to prove his point. The air around the Tesla booth crackled with tension. Grizz, fueled by the crowd's attention, crossed his arms and grinned smugly. You hear that, boys? Musk thinks he's got something to prove. This should be good. Sparks chimed in, smirking. Better be quick, though. Don't want your battery running out halfway through. The bikers laughed uproariously, drawing more onlookers into the growing circle. Meanwhile, Elon remained unfazed, his calm gaze sweeping across the group. His ability to stay composed in the face of their mockery only added to the intrigue. Elon finally spoke, his voice cutting through the laughter like a razor. You know, it's funny. You talk a lot about power, noise, and soul. But I've always believed actions speak louder than words. The bikers' laughter quieted slightly, replaced by murmurs in the crowd. Grizz tilted his head, his smirk faltering for just a moment. All right, Musk. Enough talking. Show us what you've got. Let's see this electric masterpiece of yours. Elon gave a faint smile, his eyes glinting with something unreadable. Confidence, perhaps, or a hint of mischief. Gladly, he replied, turning toward the stage. The crowd parted as Elon stepped onto the platform, where a large, shrouded object stood under a sleek black cover. The murmurs of the audience grew louder, a mix of speculation and excitement buzzing through the air. What's that supposed to be? Sparks called out, his tone still mocking, but tinged with curiosity. Elon placed a hand on the cover and paused, glancing back at the bikers. This, he said, his voice steady and deliberate, is the answer to every doubt you've just voiced. It's the future of motorcycles, and it's electric. The bikers exchanged glances, their expressions shifting from mockery to unease as the crowd roared in anticipation. The atmosphere in the convention hall reached a fever pitch. All eyes were on Elon as he stood beside the shrouded object on stage, his hand resting lightly on the cover. The bikers leaned forward, their earlier bravado giving way to quiet tension. Grizz, still trying to maintain control, scoffed. All right, Musk, you've got our attention. But unless that's a flying bike under there, you're wasting your time. Sparks added with a laugh. Yeah, better hope it can keep up with the sound of a real engine. Elon's faint smile didn't falter. It's not about keeping up, he replied calmly. It's about surpassing. With a single, fluid motion, Elon pulled back the cover to reveal Tesla's first-ever electric superbike. The sleek, futuristic design seemed to shimmer under the stage lights, its aerodynamic body gleaming in Tesla's signature metallic silver. The crowd erupted in cheers and gasps, their phones held high to capture the moment. The bikers stared in stunned silence. The superbike's cutting-edge design was a stark contrast to their rugged machines, its sharp lines and glowing accents exuding an air of technological mastery. Grizz took a step forward, his skepticism wavering. "Well, what is that thing?" he muttered. Elon gestured toward the superbike with pride. "This is the Tesla Model M. It's more than just a motorcycle. It's a revolution. Faster, smarter, and cleaner than anything on the road today." The murmurs in the crowd swelled as Elon detailed the superbike's capabilities. 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. AI-assisted riding for safety and performance. In a range that puts traditional bikes to shame, all while maintaining the thrill of the ride. Grizz and his crew exchanged uncertain glances, their confidence shaken. Sparks finally spoke, his voice quieter now. "Is it even real?" Elon chuckled softly. "Would you like to find out?" The challenge was no longer just words. It was an open invitation, and the bikers were no longer sure they could turn it down. The big reveal. The room was electric with anticipation, the crowd hanging on Elon's every word. The Tesla Model M stood under the spotlight, its futuristic design an instant crowd pleaser. Cameras flashed, recording the historic moment as Elon began to speak. "Ladies and gentlemen," Elon said, his voice steady but infused with passion, "the Tesla Model M is not just a bike, it's a statement. A statement that technology, power, and soul can coexist without compromise." The bikers were uncharacteristically quiet, their usual swagger replaced with curiosity. Grizz squinted at the bike, trying to find something, anything, to mock. "Sure, it looks fancy," he muttered under his breath. "But looks don't mean squat on the road." Elon must have overheard, because he gestured toward the bike's sleek body. "I hear the skepticism," he said with a faint smile. "So, let's talk specifics." He pointed to the tires, their unique tread pattern design for all-weather performance. These are self-adjusting tires, adapting to road conditions in real time. No matter where you ride, rain, snow, or gravel, you'll always have optimal grip. The crowd murmured in awe, but the bikers remained stoic. Sparks crossed his arms, muttering, "All right, that's cool. But it's got to sound like a sewing machine." Elon turned toward the bike, pressing a button on a small remote. The Model M hummed to life, emitting a low, throaty growl that rumbled through the hall. The bikers stiffened, their eyes widening. "This is the Tesla roar," Elon explained. "An optional feature for riders who crave the auditory thrill without the environmental cost. Customizable, of course." The bikers exchanged uneasy glances, their skepticism beginning to crack. Grizz tilted his head, his voice quieter now. "All right, Musk, you've got my attention." The reveal had only just begun. The tension in the air was palpable as Elon stepped closer to the Tesla Model M, his hand hovering over its handlebar. "Now, let's talk about power," he said, his voice calm but commanding. Grizz narrowed his eyes, leaning forward as if daring Elon to impress him. "All right, Musk, let's hear it. What's this thing packing under the hood?" Elon glanced at the crowd and then back at Grizz. "Glad you asked. The Model M features a state-of-the-art dual-motor system that delivers over 200 horsepower. That means this bike doesn't just match traditional superbikes. It surpasses them." The murmurs in the audience grew louder, and even the bikers couldn't hide their surprise. Sparks raised an eyebrow. 200 horsepower? On an electric bike? That's got to be a gimmick. Elon smirked and tapped a button on the bike's console. A holographic display projected stats into the air, showcasing the Model M specs. Top speed of 220 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, and a range of 350 miles on a single charge. The crowd erupted in applause, and even a few gasps escaped from the bikers. Grizz's jaw tightened as he stared at the display. "Those numbers can't be real," he muttered, though his voice lacked conviction. Elon turned toward the group, his tone shifting to a playful challenge. "You're welcome to test it yourself. Unless, of course, you're afraid it'll prove you wrong." The bikers stiffened, their pride preventing them from backing down. Grizz stepped forward, his voice steady but edged with hesitation. "All right, Musk, let's see if your numbers hold up in the real world." Elon's smile widened as he gestured toward the bike. "Be my guest." The crowd roared with excitement as Grizz prepared to take the Model M for a spin, the stakes rising higher with every passing moment. The convention hall buzzed with excitement as Grizz reluctantly stepped up to the Tesla Model M. His tough exterior remained intact, but there was no denying the flicker of curiosity in his eyes. The other bikers watched closely, their skepticism giving way to silent anticipation. Elon handed Grizz a sleek, Tesla-designed helmet. "Safety first," he said with a faint smile. "And don't forget, this bike is built for precision. It responds to your movements faster than you're used to." Grizz grunted, slipping on the helmet and swinging his leg over the Model M. He adjusted his weight on the seat, surprised by the balance and comfort. "Not bad," he admitted under his breath, though he kept his tone gruff. The crowd stepped back, clearing a path as Elon tapped his remote to open a side door, revealing a custom test track. Bright lights illuminated a stretch of straightaways, sharp turns, and ramps designed to showcase the bike's capabilities. Grizz tightened his grip on the handlebars as the Model M hummed to life, its subtle yet powerful growl vibrating through the air. "All right, let's see what you've got," he muttered before twisting the throttle. The superbike shot forward with a burst of speed that caught everyone, including Grizz, off guard. The audience gasped as the bike accelerated down the track, its electric motors delivering an instant and smooth surge of power. Grizz leaned into the first turn, the bike responding effortlessly to his movements. The holographic dashboard projected a real-time display of speed, incline, and trajectory, enhancing his control. "Whoa," he muttered, a mix of surprise and admiration in his voice. By the time he hit the straightaway, Grizz was no longer testing the bike. He was enjoying it. Sparks and the other bikers exchanged wide-eyed glances, their doubts crumbling with every second. The Model M wasn't just holding its own, it was redefining what a bike could be. Grizz roared down the straightaway, the Tesla Model M responding to his every movement like an extension of his body. The bike's power was undeniable, its smooth acceleration and precise handling unlike anything he'd ever experienced. He approached a sharp turn, his instincts kicking in. Leaning hard, he braced for the usual fight between gravity and momentum. But the superbike's AI-assisted riding system kicked in seamlessly, guiding him through the curve with precision. "What the hell?" Grizz muttered, his voice tinged with both shock and awe. The crowd erupted in cheers, the spectacle more thrilling than anyone had anticipated. Sparks turned to the rest of the crew, his earlier mockery replaced with wide-eyed astonishment. "Are you seeing this? That thing's not just fast, it's like it knows what he's thinking." As Grizz neared the final stretch of the track, he pushed the bike harder, testing its limits. The holographic display projected his top speed, 145 miles per hour, and climbing. The superbike didn't flinch, its balance and control unwavering even at breakneck speed. When he finally rolled back into the convention hall, the audience burst into applause. Grizz removed his helmet, his face flushed but visibly impressed. He took a moment to catch his breath before looking at Elon, who stood nearby with a calm smile. "Well, Musk," Grizz said, his tone softer but still gruff, "I'll give it to you. This thing's got guts. Never thought I'd say it, but it's the real deal." Elon nodded, his expression unreadable. "I'm glad you think so. It's not just a bike. It's a vision. And it's only the beginning." The bikers exchanged glances, their skepticism completely replaced with intrigue. For the first time, they saw the electric revolution not as a threat, but as an opportunity. The demo, proving the power. The applause from the crowd began to settle as Elon stepped forward, addressing both the bikers and the audience. "Now that we've seen the Model M in action, let's explore what makes it truly revolutionary. And for that, I'm going to need some volunteers." Grizz, still catching his breath from the test ride, exchanged a wary glance with his crew. Sparks smirked, stepping forward. "All right, Musk, you've got our attention. What's this about? Another fancy hologram?" Elon shook his head, his faint smile unwavering. "Not at all. This is about real-world performance. The Model M isn't just built for speed. It's designed for versatility. Let's see how it handles in some high-pressure scenarios." A section of the convention floor opened up, revealing an obstacle course filled with ramps, barriers, and sharp turns. The crowd murmured in excitement as the lights illuminated the track. Elon gestured to the bikers. "Think of this as a test of skill and technology. Your bikes versus the Model M. Each rider will navigate the course, and we'll compare times." Sparks raised an eyebrow, his confidence returning. "You're seriously putting your little electric toy against real machines? Fine, we'll take you up on that." Another biker, Tank, rolled his shoulders and cracked his knuckles. "Let's show them how it's done." The bikers mounted their traditional motorcycles, their engines roaring to life and filling the convention hall with deafening noise. Meanwhile, Elon activated the Model M, its low growl a stark contrast to the roar of combustion engines. The first biker revved his engine, taking his place at the starting line. Elon stepped aside, nodding toward the timer. "Let's begin." The stage was set. Tradition and innovation were about to collide in a head-to-head showdown. The first biker, Tank, positioned himself at the starting line. His traditional motorcycle rumbled beneath him, its powerful engine reverberating through the hall. The crowd leaned in, eager to see how the seasoned rider would tackle the course. With a loud rev, Tank launched forward, his bike tearing across the track. The sound of screeching tires and the sharp smell of burnt rubber filled the air as he approached the first obstacle, a tight zigzag of cones. Tank maneuvered expertly, his years of experience on full display. The crowd cheered as he cleared the cones, his bike wobbling slightly, but recovering with each sharp turn. Sparks clapped loudly, shouting, "That's how you do it." The next challenge was a steep ramp that led into a narrow tunnel. Tank throttled up, his bike roaring as it soared over the ramp. He landed with a hard jolt, gripping the handlebars tightly as he shot into the tunnel. His focus was intense, his movements sharp. As he exited the tunnel, Tank faced the final stretch, A sharp U-turn followed by a straightaway to the finish line. He leaned hard into the curve, his tires skidding slightly, but holding traction. With a burst of speed, he crossed the finish line, skidding to a stop with a dramatic flourish. The timer stopped, and the crowd erupted in applause. Sparks slapped Tank on the back as he removed his helmet. "Not bad, big guy. Not bad at all." Tank grinned, glancing at Elon. "Let's see your fancy bike beat that." Elon nodded, unfazed. "Impressive run. Now, let's see how the Model M handles the same course." The crowd quieted, anticipation building as the superbike hummed to life. The battle between tradition and technology was about to hit its peak. The room fell silent as the Tesla Model M glided to the starting line. Its sleek, futuristic frame seemed to glow under the track lights, a stark contrast to the rugged look of the traditional motorcycles. Sparks folded his arms, smirking. "Let's see if this toy can handle the real world." Elon tapped the bike's control screen, activating its advanced performance mode. The holographic display above the course adjusted to track live data: speed, angle, traction, and time. "The Model M doesn't just perform, it adapts," Elon explained to the crowd. "Let's watch it in action." The starting signal beeped, and the Model M launched forward with a quiet yet powerful hum. The crowd gasped as the bike reached top speed almost instantly, its acceleration smooth and controlled. Approaching the zigzag of cones, the Model M's AI-assisted steering system kicked in. The bike moved with surgical precision, weaving effortlessly through the obstacles. Every turn was clean, every movement calculated. Sparks' smirk faded as he muttered, "No way it's that smooth." Next came the ramp. The Model M's built-in stabilizers adjusted midair, ensuring a perfect landing. As it shot into the narrow tunnel, its low-light sensors activated, maintaining top speed while providing the rider with optimal visibility. The final challenge, a sharp U-turn, showcased the bike's real magic. Its traction control system activated, hugging the curve tightly without losing an ounce of momentum. The bike sped out of the turn and down the straightaway, crossing the finish line with time to spare. The timer stopped, displaying a new record. The crowd erupted in cheers, their excitement undeniable. Grizz, Sparks, and the rest of the crew exchanged stunned glances. For the first time, they were at a loss for words. Elon approached with a calm smile. "So," he said, his voice carrying over the noise, "how does it compare? Resolution and takeaways." The crowd's cheers slowly subsided, leaving the hall buzzing with excitement and murmurs of amazement. The bikers stood in a loose huddle near the track, their tough exteriors now tinged with a sense of awe. Grizz removed his helmet and ran a hand through his hair, his eyes fixed on the Model M. Sparks broke the silence first, crossing his arms as he muttered, "All right, that was impressive. But it's all tech. Where's the soul?" Elon, standing nearby, heard the comment and approached with his trademark calm. "The soul of a bike," he said, his voice measured, "isn't in its engine. It's in the experience, the connection between rider and machine. The Model M doesn't replace that. It enhances it." Tank, usually the skeptic, nodded reluctantly. "Gotta admit, Musk, that thing handles like a dream. I've never seen anything like it." Grizz, still quiet, finally spoke up. "It's fast, precise. But does it last? What's it like after hours on the road?" Elon smiled faintly. "That's the beauty of it. With a 350-mile range and smart energy management, it's built for endurance. And when you do need to recharge, it's faster than refueling a gas bike." The bikers exchanged glances, their skepticism eroding bit by bit. Grizz let out a low chuckle. "You know, Musk, I thought you were just another tech guy trying to change the world from behind a desk. But this," he gestured to the Model M, "this is something else." Elon tilted his head. "Innovation isn't about replacing tradition. It's about building on it. You've spent your lives pushing limits on the road. Now, imagine pushing those limits further, with technology that works with you, not against you." The bikers listened intently, their respect for Elon and his vision growing with every word. Grizz rubbed his chin, his eyes still locked on the Model M. "You've got guts, Musk. I'll give you that. But it's a big leap from showing off at a convention to convincing people like us to trade in tradition." Elon nodded, his expression thoughtful. "You're right. Change doesn't happen overnight. But sometimes it starts with a single ride. The youngest biker, who had been quietly observing until now, stepped forward. "I never thought I'd say this," he said, his voice hesitant. "But that bike, it's got something. Power, precision, even style. I'd ride it." Sparks looked at him in mock disbelief. "You'd ride it? You were trash-talking it an hour ago." The younger biker shrugged. "Yeah, well, I was wrong. Can't deny what I just saw." The crowd, still lingering around the stage, murmured in agreement. The enthusiasm was infectious, and even the bikers could feel it. Tank chuckled, slapping the younger biker on the back. "Looks like Musk got a fan." Elon stepped closer to Grizz, his tone calm but persuasive. "It's not about replacing what you love. It's about evolving it. The open road is still yours, but imagine riding with the kind of innovation that makes every mile smoother, faster, and more exciting." Grizz met Elon's gaze, his tough exterior softening. "You're serious about this, aren't you? About making something that's more than just tech for the sake of it?" Elon nodded. "Absolutely. The Model M isn't just a bike. It's a step toward what's possible when we embrace both tradition and progress." The room seemed to hold its breath as Grizz extended his hand. "All right, Musk. You've got my respect. Let's see if you can keep it." Elon shook his hand firmly, a knowing smile on his face. "I'll let the bike do the talking." The bikers gathered around the Model M, their skepticism fully replaced with admiration and curiosity. Grizz ran his hand along the bike's sleek frame, a faint smirk playing on his lips. "Well, Musk," he said, his tone lighter than before, "I guess I've got one question left. When do we get a real ride?" The crowd laughed, and Elon chuckled softly. "Soon," he replied. "Tesla's not just building bikes. We're building a new way of thinking about the road. And riders like you? You're exactly who we need to shape it." Sparks raised an eyebrow. "Wait, you're saying we could be part of this?" Elon nodded. "Absolutely. Who better to push the limits than those who've been doing it their whole lives? You know the road better than anyone. Help us make the next generation of machines that do it justice." The bikers exchanged glances, their camaraderie stronger than ever. The youngest biker grinned. "You know what? I'm in. Count me in for whatever comes next." Tank clapped him on the shoulder, laughing. "Guess we're trading in leather for lab coats, huh?" Grizz shook his head, his smirk turning into a full grin. "Not lab coats. Just a better ride." Elon stepped back, gesturing toward the open track. "The future's yours, gentlemen. Take it for a spin anytime." As the bikers mounted their motorcycles, the Model M gleamed under the lights, a beacon of possibility. Grizz glanced back at Elon one last time before revving his engine. "You've got a long road ahead, Musk. Don't stop surprising us." With that, they roared out of the convention hall, their engines blending with the crowd's cheers. The open road awaited, and this time, the journey was about more than tradition. It was about creating something new.